Hello everyone, Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to the 5.3 vector product. There are three learning objectives here, which is first, finding the vector product by using a formula. And the second one is use the properties of vector product. And the last one will be finding the area of parallelogram and the area of a triangle. So let's have a look at the first learning objective is finding the vector product. Okay, let's see the example 8a here. Given the vector A is 3i plus 2j minus 2k, and the B vector is 3i minus 2j plus 4k, and then find the vector A cross B. Okay, we call this cross because the vector product but it is also called as cross product. Okay, we usually call this during our SPM level. We call this cross product, but now we call it vector product. It's the same thing anyway. All right. Sometimes I would call it cross product. Sometimes I would call it vector product. Okay. So this one I'll mention A cross B. Okay. So now how do we solve? How do we find A cross B? There is a formula for finding vector product or the cross product. Okay, so I'll show you a brief formula here. So these are the formula of the vector product, and this is the very important formula for A cross B. So this is the first vector A, and this is the second vector B, and this is the way to solve and finding the vector of A cross B. So I'll show you one by one on how do we put down our vectors of A and B, and then we will start in here. I'll show you one by one, all right? So first thing first is just putting the numbers of the vector A, all right? So this is 3, 2, negative 2. And then the vector B is 3, negative 2, 4. Double check. You must double check because you might not know whether you will write wrongly or not. Okay, so I'll double check first. So 3, negative 2, and positive 4 is all correct there. So now what we should do is we will write this thing. I really love write the rangka dahulu, okay, because it makes my life easier so that I know that the first term is always positive, okay, positive I, and then the second term is always negative for the J, and the third term will always be negative back for the K. All right, so I is positive sign, J is negative sign, K is positive sign. All right, remember this is the formula. All right, and then how do we solve the I part? The I part is where you need to close this I column and the row column, and then this is where you are trying to solve this one. This is sort of like matrices. You solve the way, it is also almost the same thing as the matrices dulu yang you belajar. Okay, so the way to solve this is to recognize the diagonal. Do you remember dulu kita belajar chapter 4? Chapter 4 matrices last semester. Do you remember what we call this as? Contohlah di nombor 3, contoh ataupun 1 lah. 1 ke 2? Okay, 2, 1 lah contoh kan. So here is 0, 0 kan. So this is actually called as 2, 1 ni sebenarnya kita panggil dia sebagai diagonal matrix. Do you remember? We call this as diagonal line. Diagonal line. Okay, diagonal line. Kenapa dia dipanggil sebagai diagonal line? Because maybe I should use this one. Yeah, let me use this one instead. Okay, kenapa dia dipakai sebagai diagonal line? Because this is sort of like identity matrix, betul tak? So, tiba-tiba aja chapter 4 pula kan, sorry about that. Just want to recall about the diagonal line. Okay, the diagonal line here, it means that we will calculate this part first, you know. We always calculate the diagonal line dahulu. So, I just want to show you that when I close this I column and I row, I'm trying to start with the diagonal line dulu. Ini maksud saya. kita kena mula dengan diagonal line dulu. So 2 darab 4 adalah 8. So saya letak 8 di depan. Okay, and then formula dia sentiasa tolak. Tolak apa? Tolak yang sebaliknya pula, iaitu 4. 8 tolak 4 iaitu 4i. That is our first answer. Okay, so first answer is 8 minus 4 for I. How about for J? So for J, again, we close the row of the J and the column of the J. So now, how do you do it? If you closed it already. So the numbers is starting with the diagonal line. Mulakan dengan diagonal line dulu, iaitu nombor 3 dan 4, kita akan dapat 12. And then, tolak. Formula dalam kurungan ni sentiasa tolak, okay? Tolakkan dengan negative 2 times 3, which is negative 6. Negative bertemu negative, positive 6. Therefore, inside here is 18J. Alright, so, but the thing is we must write it down. 12 plus 6 instead. Sebab negative bertemu negative adalah positive 6. Alright. So the last one, K. K tutupkan the row and the column of the K side, and then we start with the diagonal line. Mulakan dengan diagonal line, as I said. Start dengan diagonal line, okay? Negative 6 here, minus with 6, okay? Minus with the 6 there. So we will get negative 12 inside here. So slowly, this is negative 6 minus 6. Okay, and therefore the answer is positive I minus 18J and then minus 12K. So that is your the A cross B answers. Yep, that's correct. So kenapa saya fokuskan sangat dengan diagonal line ni? It is just because I got some student yang dia tutup benda ni dah betul dah. Cumanya sometimes they start diagonal line dia yang opposite side punya diagonal line, which is wrong lah. This kind of, ada student saya memang mulakan daripada 4 and then tolak 8. Memang dia dapat 4 juga tapi dia dapat negative sign, which is not the same as this one, isn't it? So please be careful. Always start with the diagonal line bila kita cuba untuk mengira di bahagian soalan inilah. We always start with the diagonal line, right? So let's move on to the next question. Example here, given the A vector, which is I, J plus 2J plus 3K, and then B vector is equals to negative I plus 3J minus K, and then find the A cross B. So let's solve this one, A cross B. Sum in the value 1, 2, 3. Yep, 1, 2, 3. And then here is negative 1, 3, negative 1. Okay, so as again, I'll do this again. Okay, so tutupkan the I. But before you do this tutup semua ni, make sure you write down positive I, negative J, and then positive K. Alright, please leave some spaces here in between them. So now, first thing first, we close the I because we want to solve the I part. So here, we will start with the diagonal line. The diagonal line is over here, okay? So 2 times negative 1 is negative 2. So here is negative 2 minus with 9, okay? Minus with 9. So write it down slowly. Negative 2 minus 9. All right? So now, next one, tutupkan pula the J. So the J here tutup. So we got here, what? Negative 1 minus, no, it's positive. Sebabkan negative, negative, positive. So 3, negative 1 plus 3. Yep, it's correct, negative 1 plus 3. And the last one will be, tutupkan yang ini. Tutupkan yang group K yang ni, so kita akan dapat positive K, positive 3, so 3 plus 2. 3 plus 2 is over here. So 3 plus 2. So what we have here, the answer is negative 11I. This one is minus 2J plus 5K. Yep. That is our answer. Okay, sekarang ni kita dah pun menjawab soalan yang pertama, which is A cross B. How about this one? Prove that the A cross B is a vector which is perpendicular to the vector A. So, mengenai ini, perpendicular to the vector A. So, this is, okay, perpendicular. So, A cross B is a vector. It's sort of like a new name. Kalau you nak letkan dia menjadi huruf U contohnya kan, pun boleh juga. Okay, if you want to let it as a new name, you can do it. If you do not want it, it's okay. You can leave it like that. You use the A cross B is a vector which is perpendicular to the vector A. So dia nak suruh proof. Proof ni bermaksud dia suruh show, you know. So dia suruh show. Jadi cara-caranya adalah menggunakan the scalar product. Do you remember scalar or the dot product in 5.2? In my previous video, we have learned this dot product. So we gotta, kenapa kita kena pakai dot product ni? Because we want to show whether we got a zero or not. Okay, kalau kita dapat kosong, bermaksud dia adalah perpendicular to each other. Okay, so now we just got to prove whether it is going to be equal to 0 or not. So the way is so easy. You sub in the vector -11, -2, and the +5, and the vector A. What is the value of vector A? Which is 1, 2, 3. And now our job is just to use the dot product formula, which is -11 times 1 plus -2 times 2, and then 5 times 3. And so you will get -11 minus 4, and which is -15 plus 15. Yes, it is giving you a 0. Okay, so after you got a 0, it is proven already. But before you put the proven part, you would say since the A cross B vector, okay, dalam kurungan, dotkan dengan A vector is equals to 0 as we got here. So A cross B is perpendicular to the vector A, and then we write down proven or shown. That's it. We're done here. So now let's go to the next example. So the next example here, let's have a look there. Okay, find all vectors of length square root of 11 unit which are perpendicular to both A cross B. Okay, so again, you read the question. Find all vectors. Okay, kalau tak nak perkataan, kalau confused about the all vectors, let's tutupkan dulu kejap perkataan all ni. Find vector. Find vector of the length square root of 11 unit. Okay, dia dah bagi dah, dia nak cari vektor yang ada length sebanyak 11 unit, which are length tersebut which are perpendicular. Length tersebut adalah perpendicular to the both A and B. Okay, so A and B bermaksud bermaksud sesuatu lah. Sesuatu itu apa? So now let's have a look at this cara penulisan saya. So let V. So I give it a name of this vector lah. I know it's more than one vector, but I write down V sahaja dulu untuk sebagai permulaan, step 1. So V vector is equals to the length of the square root 11, but it said here square root of 11 unit. In fact, di perkataan ini unit sangat penting. Okay. And then kalau kamu perasan, saya darabkan dengan A cross B with the head there. A cross B with the head there. Kenapa saya sangat confident of this A cross B? Kenapa saya tahu sangat dia didarabkan dengan A cross B? Because why? Because of this lukisan. Okay, this lukisan has shown me that if we have two vectors, yes, two vectors which is going a different direction. How do I know it? If you want to prove yourself, you can go to GeoGebra and prove yourself that they literally have different direction. Tengok nombor positive sign, negative sign pun dah tahu dah, they have different direction. So of course we know that they are sort of like this lah. Begitu, sort of like this. One is A vector, one is B vectors. Okay, so kenapa saya lukis dua jenis Bukan dua jenis, saya sort of like saya duplicate dekat sini. Saya tak dia tak adalah duplicate. It is just means that what I'm trying to do here, I'm trying to show you that there are two type of answers. Okay, one is this part. Okay, kalau you baca, kalau you pakai your right hand rule, okay, I'm gonna use my right hand rule. Okay, how do I show this? So you use your hand rule, thumb rule begini. Kalaulah bawah ni, sorry, mungkin saya kena start dari sini dulu kot sebab I highlight that. So A to B, the vector is going down, you know that. So A to B is going down A cross B. Tapi kalau saya buat yang begini pula, it means that B cross A because sort of like daripada bawah masuk ke atas. B cross A. So ada dua cara pembacaan dekat sini lah. Literally got two ways of reading vectors. One is from B to A, we will get the above B cross A. Another one is A cross B. We will get, dan sebab dia ke bawah kan A cross B, so we will get downwards punya vector which is A cross B. Okay, I have to show you something lah. No, not this one. Yeah, kenapa dia adalah perpendicular? Oh my god, does it work? Uh-oh. Just a minute, give a few seconds. So I've prepared a vector punya GeoGebra. So yeah, this is it. So I've prepared for a GeoGebra. I've prepared this command lah for you all to see that in 3D. Kenapa dia diperlukan? Kenapa A cross B itu berada di atas dan di bawah? Yeah, this is what I want to show you guys lah. So you guys nampak warna hitam tu kan? Warna hitam tu satu ke atas, satu ke bawah. So satu ke atas bermaksud dia perpendicular. It is perpendicular to the vector yang warna pink dan warna hijau ni. Kalau you nampak betul-betul. Oops. Manakala yang di bawah pink dan bawah perpendicular, bawah pink, vektor pink dan vektor hijau tu perpendicularnya ada juga yang di bawah. Vektor yang di bawah tu, yang dotted line tersebut. So this is the meaning of perpendicular in 3D. One is up and one is down. Okay, but the way we write it down here, oh god, just give some seconds here. All right, the way we write it down here, yang ini dari segi penulisan pula. The way cara penulisannya adalah kalau kita pakai thumb rule kita ke bawahkan dia, kita akan dapat A cross B yang di bawahnya. Okay, A cross B, tapi the opposite direction must be B cross A. Okay, dia bukan A cross B juga. The opposite direction it must become switch B cross A. Itu je purpose dia sebenarnya. Because of what? Because they say this is perpendicular. This is perpendicular. It's so hard to show you in 2D, but I guess when I show you in 3D, it is more understandable, isn't it? Okay, so here I show you my solutions here, A cross B. Saya mulakan dengan A cross B. Sebenarnya, if you want to use B cross A pun boleh. You akan dapat jawapan yang sama juga. Cumanya different direction, which is just the different sign, which is the opposite sign lah. Okay, tak apa, tu nanti. So now you try A cross B. I try. My second step is A cross B. So I sub in my vector A, my vector B. I got this thing. Okay. After that, I must get my magnitude of A cross B because I am trying to find the unit vector, you know. This is called as unit vector. Kena cari unit vector because I must times this with my square root 11 unit. Sebab itulah kena cari the hat, A cross B punya hat. And so I found it, I got this. After I got this, I times this with my square root of 11. The thing is, madam, kenapa tiba-tiba ada plus minus pula? Sebab kita ada dua direction. Isn't it? Vector got two directions for A cross B. That's why dia ada plus and minus sign. Yang ini kena very smart. Step 3 must be very smart. Bukan setakat kita pandai darab dengan A cross B punya hat, but we must know it will be more than one vector because of the opposite direction yang saya tunjuk di dalam GeoGebra tadi. Alright, and so we can cut this square root of 11, and so we have two value of vector, which is the vector 1. Vector 1 bersamaan dengan negative 3i plus j minus k, and the vector 2 is 3i minus j plus k. That's it there. These are my two factors answers there. Thank you very much. All the best.